should be live now. Hey guys, it's Robert here, and well, yeah, streaming a game that I didn't say I was gonna stream earlier, but in that post I made earlier, but hey, I figured why not surprise you all with a stream that I did not mention. So, and that is what Thomas and Friends Wonders of Sodor. Okay, I think I got the about as best I can, but it's slightly zoomed out. But yeah, okay, I think that's about the best I can do. So, for the most part here in this stream, we're just gonna be exploring the free roam. Since, well, I already cleared all the story segments and all of these. But but yeah. So, and I do plan on doing an actual Let's Play of this at some point, so yeah. Yeah, so just gonna go and explore mode, just have some fun here for like, probably like an hour and a half at the very least. And I don't know why, some reason I think I said explore mode instead of explore mode in the title. If that's the case, I'll just change it after the stream is done. Yeah, it is also kind of late when I'm doing this as well, but yeah, hey, you know me, always just wanting to start these earlier than I planned them to, but oh well. Not much I can do. Oh well, that's really on me. But yeah, this game's been out for about a month now, and actually a little bit more than a month, and already have been having pretty much fun with it here. And yeah, we're at Tidmouth Sheds now, which, yeah, at this point this game only has the main line and Thomas's branch line. And so that's all that this game has at the moment. I really hope that DLC is they add more to this game, like more branch lines, more characters, yeah, and more stories to play as well. But only time will tell on that. Yeah, I'm not gonna like explore the whole map or anything like that, but yeah, well, honestly, I might try to do that as well. But yeah, it was Tidmouth Sheds like itself, and the interior has been changed to be have these embedded rails as opposed to them being like how they are in these ones here are. Just not like how it is in the show. Oh, but yeah, and yeah, so I guess what we should do is to get a train going here. So, and the only reason why I chose to start over here was because this long stretch of track has like no signals on it, and god damn it, come on, the game just glitched. Friggin' yeah, these freaking oh my gosh, the controller just if I unplug it, plug it back in to try to restart it, but it's just not going. Now I just gotta put it on my charger to jump start it. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense since I literally charged this thing like right before I started doing it. There we go. Doesn't make any sense. Oh my gosh. But god damn it. How can I do this if it doesn't do? You know what? Just restart. That's what I'll do. Yeah, just restart the game. And yeah, that's a glitch that, well, that happens sometimes, well, where you go into like the map to and then it just, like, sometimes the controls, then they'll just stop working on you. Although, funny enough, that's the first time it's happened to me in, like, in a while. So, must be a curse then, but, yeah. But yeah, this, like, the signal's, like, way over there. I can kind of see that from here. Can't go into free roam camera from here, but, yeah. It does go, pretty far. Oh, and, yeah, so, I want to get a super long train going now. Which is something I always like doing on this long stretch of track. So we just start off at the end here and just work our way forwards. So I think we get like let's get like an express train going. And yeah, we'll go for that and yeah, so yeah, like the world just kind of ends like out there for that tunnel, which I mean you can kind of go through it, but there's an invisible wall. The screen just fades to white, telling you're at the edge of the world, and you spawn back. Yeah, like here's the bare wall right here, but you can get past it by just putting a train here and just backing up past it to over there. But yeah, we're spawning a train. We have 6 engines at the moment: Diesel, Emily, Gordon, Thomas, Percy, and James. So if I want a long express train, well, gonna do Gordon here. Since is the longest one out there. Hell, and actually, what am I doing? Should probably start off with this first. And yeah, the reason I'm having it face this way is because for some reason whenever you spawn in trains in free roam from here, for some reason the brake coach is facing the opposite direction is what it should be. So you might have to have it face this way, so like it's facing the correct direction, and then couple it up and just go into here and move that, and boom. So now this whole process is just me using like spawning in the engine and then just boom, and then well coupling it all up together. And luckily, yeah, I can back the edge of the world if failure doesn't start until you like reach that tunnel. So I can back this train up more if I wanted to, which I am going to do. So just do that, and yeah, so let's do the move that. Nope, move the brake coach and let's back this train up into that end. Also, yeah, can't back this up too fast, otherwise derailment will happen. And it will just explode. So, yeah, have to be. Usually, it allows you to just couple. It just automatically couples when you. Well, but in this case, no. I have to actually. Yeah, in this case, I actually have to have to attach the coupling manually. Alright. Probably should have waited till I had another express coach, a set of express coaches to attach here, otherwise, yeah, I might run into the kill barrier. But let's see. Am I in the clear? Seems like it. Okay, I am. So, for some reason I thought it was further along here. He thought that. And yeah, now just spawn in more Gordons and take out the brake coach and just couple it up like that. With really, I don't need to do that but I want it to look more. It just looks more prop. It just looks weird if you just keep putting with the brake coach in the middle of them all of them. Oh, yeah, let's do that, and instead of just like backing the train up and coupling it up now, I'm just gonna get as many as I can, and well, and yeah, just then couple them up. I don't know why. For some reason, whenever I set up a long train, it sometimes just gives me the option to like couple or uncouple, even though there's nothing there. I don't know why. It must be just pieces of the entities that coaches that I've removed, have not fully removed for like, or do something, I don't know. Oh, yeah, now it's take that and do that. This is kind of a slow process to do here, but I think it's worth it. But if I was doing like the brand drawing coaches, then this would take a little bit longer. But yeah. Yeah, that's just one of my favorite things to do, is just get like a super long train and then just pull it along the main line. Because that's something I always felt that the show was lacking in. Making the trains have longer trains they're pulling. I always felt that was something they were lacking with. Like, not so much in like the railway series. But to be fair, for the when the show was being done with models, I get it, because in some sets the sets were too steep, even making it impossible for the train models to climb while pulling long trains. Then the alternative that was using fishing wire. So it makes sense there. Yeah, but even with CGI, I feel like they kind of took advantage of it, but not to its fullest extent. I feel with having super long trains. I mean, they kind of did with Gordon, giving them 6 express coaches to pull as opposed to like 3 to 4. Oh, but oh well, that's just something that is what it is. And at the same time, it doesn't. It does take a lot of effort to making like, well, actually, it might not take too much effort, but I don't know how the process goes. Well, you have to just keep putting like a sets of like cars around behind each train to make it super long. Like if you're just, I mean, if it's all like the same car pretty much for the most part, then that's not too hard, then I guess. But of course, I'm not a CGI animator, so I don't know how much all this stuff works really. But actually, no, I can do in one more. But I mean, like, all the character models were made in Maya. Engines paint what textures were all designed in Photoshop and then imported onto them, onto the characters. So yeah, there's that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this will be so nope. Spawn on the last train and yeah. Now, we just back up once so now I just take out this brake coach and I can back the train up into each other. So let's back it up. Yeah, throughout this game there are collectibles with scattered throughout the map. Books, paintings, hats, whistles. I did manage to find all of the books and paintings on my own, but eventually I did use a guide for the painting, hats, and whistles I was missing. With yeah, and I'm inside the coach. Shoot. Okay. I didn't want to just get blindly like back up into it. Backing up here. Yeah, so I don't know how long this training is now, but each consists of like 5 coaches, so let's see, 1, 2, right. Okay, it's 15 long now, which realistically this is how long up next best train probably would be. About 15 long. But taking it even further, making it be like about a 30 car train, or even more than that. Because like since I'm backing the train up, it also means I can just add more cars to the train. But there is one drawback, one little drawback for all these cars though, is that it kind of makes the frame rate chug a little bit. Well, what I mean really by that is like if I'm going into the map here and trying to navigate it, then that's where it'll kind of chug some. In fact, I even saw a video of someone trying to get like a 300 car train, and the train was so long that instead of having to cut from all the way to the back to the front, it just had like a load screen, which is pretty crazy on how shows how long these trains can be, and yet still managed to pull them just fine. And yeah, just gonna back train up to like the edge of the tunnel. Okay, that's good. And yeah, we can fit another set of coaches in here. Let's do that. And spawn it in. And to change things up, I'm not gonna use Gordon to pull this long train. I'm gonna instead use James for a nice little change of pace. And felt like that was something I was lacking in like CGI series, was James being able to pull the express when he's clearly capable of doing it. Seeing that as these characters are based off their CGI designs from 2009 to 2020. Yeah, but of course with the rivets added in season 23, but this time they even updated it to look much more smaller and realistic looking. And yeah, I even added some handrails. And I guess in Gordon and James's case, real tender lining. Just kind of wish there was that sound effect that would play during the CGI series well. Whenever you bump into the buffers, it was like, boom, boom. Just make a little sound effect. But yeah, I probably could squeeze in a couple more coaches into this. You see, like, Signal really started for, like, well, the signal for this one is here, while the other signal I think is here or there. But nope. Let's just see. Nope. That was it. Well, that answered my question there, I guess. But anyway, playing it safe now. I'm gonna spawn in James here, which is one of the DLC that at launch was locked to him at behind DLC at launch, but I think it's worth it. And for some reason, when you spawn in the train and try to move forward or back, it takes a few seconds to start them up. I guess it would make sense because there's no way you would be able to just like have them like start moving right away, or as soon as you got into them. Boom. And do that, and let's back this up to the like 40-car train we got going here. So insane. Oh god. And boom. Got it. And now we set path. We're gonna you know what? Tell you what. Set like have a path going all the way to Vickerstown, then from there we'll like set it, turn it around, and go like probably this way on the Bowel Loop branch line. Which it's nice that they also added. Then probably loop back around, then go up Thomas's branch line. Yeah, so that would be the plan. So, and for the sake of giving myself a little bit more room to make it across. For the sake of giving myself a little bit more room to make it across this, like, this without and coming to somewhat of a stop, I'm gonna, yeah, set the destination to there with about 18 miles. So, let's start this. Come on, James, you can do it, and yeah. They even updated the cab interiors, which is quite nice, and even added little flashlights on the inside, so to where like you can just open them up, so that like when you're traveling at night, you'll be able to see in here. Because otherwise, it'd be pitch black. Yeah, out of all the engines, going is the fastest. I can reach up to 100 miles per hour. Yeah, I've done it several times. James is like the second fastest, but and I also think he's the fastest accelerator out of all of them. Like he picks up the speed the fastest out of everyone. Yeah, boys, this is all crazy. Yeah, you can't even see the end of the train yet. But seeing this, I'm thinking to myself, wow, they've been holding back. Why have they been holding back on this? Still not seeing the end of the train quite yet. Oh, there it is. But yeah, now heading up to Tidmouth Station now, which is based off the model, the one from seasons 2 and 3. Which I believe that was the only time this station appeared here, was in those 2 seasons. You get a little yard right on the siding here. Would have been nice to include the branch line engine sheds, well, and they're like how it was in season 2. But, oh well. Yeah, and yeah, they even made this place look much more like a train yard with all these sidings. Some turntable over there. And so we going through the, I believe the Tidmouth Tunnel. That's what it's called, yeah. And the thing about the tunnels is that, turn that lamp on, is that whenever you go into them, you're locked into first person, or I pressed the wrong button, or that, pressing right on the D-pad, not left. If you press left, and you can have the camera be like right where the engine's face is, and yeah, you get to see the inside of the tunnel like this. It's pretty awesome. But the unfortunate downside is that you can't move the camera out until the whole train has passed through the tunnel. Oh, so yeah, you're like, I'm locked into the camera now. Oh, and there's not much I can do about that. But right now we're going through Knapford, which, yeah, I mean, not really getting a good view of it, but like over there you get it's like some shelves so you can see all the pictures and paintings, which we can check out later. But yeah, would like to get out of this camera here. But yeah, it's so pretty annoying that locks you in here. And there we go. Look at that. It took out so long for the whole train to pass through the tunnel. Like, if it was only a thing for the engine, then that would be fine. But for the entire train, and you're pulling, that's a bit much. But yeah. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, that's Knapford Harbor location from the books. With that's nice that's in here. Then, well, it's the only harbor in the game at the moment because there is no Brendam docks, no other, no fishing village or anything like that. But yeah. Hopefully that'll come in a future update. Or DLC, I mean. Yeah, there was another tunnel coming up here, which is the Knapford Tunnel, which is pretty far from the station. So I think in the books it's called the Crosby Tunnel or something, but actually, no, I don't think that's the case, really. But yeah, it was what the tunnel's like in first person. And if I turn this light off, look at that, it's pitch black. Well, you can't really see a thing. So I always like keeping that lamp on, even when it's daytime, so I know that, so I can at least see. I mean, would have been nice if they turned on like automatically when you go through tunnel, like. But oh well, it's not a big deal really. But yeah, now just have to wait first person here. To get past for the train to come out of the tunnel. Oh, there we go. And yeah, we just passed the dairy. That's nice. And yeah, that bridge over there we passed over is bridge from a cow on the line. And yeah, since there's no tunnels for a while, we can turn off the lamp. Now just shuffling along the main line, and since this runs by the coast, we can kind of see the ocean from here, just over those trees. Yeah, and Unlucky Tug did like an entire video going on, like over a 3-hour video going up through this entire map, which great video, but frame rate wasn't the greatest on that, but it is still a watchable video at the end of the day. And now we're approaching Crosby, and over there was the barber shop from Close Shave. Hello there, orange guy that likes GTA. Yeah, if I press my D-pad now at the back of the train. It's so long this string is, it's crazy. Yeah, I just can't get over, I still can't seem to get over how flippin' long you can make these trains, and yeah, that's the single engine can pull them just fine. I just think to myself, damn, why have you been holding back on us? And oh yeah, and here's the washdown. Which I like to think that for some of these locations they placed them like the washdown there. They based them off like Unlucky Tug's CGI map of Sodor, where he placed the washdown just after Crosby. I like to think that's where the Dovetail got the idea to put the washdown there. So that's nice, and we're coming up to Henry's Forest, which one of the few TV locations that is actually TV exclusive locations brought into this. Yeah, there's the whole forest, a bunch of sightings. I made it back up to the frontier, and of course now coming up to Wellsworth, and then Gordon's Hill. We'll be able to make it up a little bit, or are we going to stall? Well, only one way to find out. It's just not let go of the trigger and go. Yeah, it was all the passengers inside would. The interesting thing is that they all have like the crown seating has like a crown patterning in them. Come on, I'm trying to get. Yeah, you know what? I can kind of see it from here. Shoot. For some reason, yeah, in the brake coach, as you can see, the lining, the seat lining pattern is not a crown lining. It's a pattern. It's just striped lining. On it, but not really consistent. And well, there was Wellsworth kind of passed over it, but yeah, there it is. And now we're charging up, coming to Gordon's Hill, and it's our first branch line to Edwards branch line, which you can go down that track. It goes down like a fair amount, and it ends up at Kronk's scrapyard, but there's nothing there but sightings. So, yeah. But since the name is there, that kind of gives me hints that they are planning on adding that branch line to Brendam Docks at some point. Let's see, if we can make it up to the top, we should be in the clear to make it down. Otherwise, we have to do a little bit of trial and error to make sure we don't run into any signals on the way down. Because, yeah, if the train stalls, we'll be rolling back down the hill, and, well, have to try to avoid having having to run a red signal, otherwise it'll count as a fail, and we have to reset up the whole train. Although, I think we're gonna make it. James, you got this. Made it. Yeah, just barely just made it up there. Yeah, the signals represent the top. Yeah. Now we're up here. Yeah, even though we reached the top, we're still slowing down because we have so much weight behind. But well, we'll make it. As long as we start speeding up a little, make it like the signal, I think we're good. And hit. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now we're in the clear officially. Very close. Although I've had times where, like, I was doing a doubleheader with Thomas and Percy with an express, and they just barely made it over the hill once. But yet they made it. And yeah, this is what Gordon's Hill looks like. I definitely prefer how it looked in the show, where it was a much steeper incline going up and down it. Which is not realistically, that's not how train hills work, but I just liked it because it showed us you have to really climb to get up there. It's pretty much effort to climb up here. Well, here it's just a very gradual one. Yeah, and Henry was saying in Thomas Meets the Queen that James can't climb hills. Well, he can. And for that, we'll make it our way to Malon. And yeah, we're picking up some serious speed now. I believe James's top speed is about 85 miles an hour. Which is pretty fast, but not as fast as Gordon. But hey, this still makes James the fastest red engine on Sodor. Yeah, here's mail on it. Yeah, it's the straight season 1 version. Well, that is straight. Well, all versions from season 6 onwards have it curved. Which, yeah, for the most part, the show normally would take place at least on entirely west of Malon. Well, that's not entirely true. Well, that's mostly in the case of with standard gauge engines. Well, yeah, that's generally the case there. But yeah, now we'll just go make it our way to the east side. And up ahead is the suspension bridge, which, again, I think it's another thing that Dovetail Games pulled from Unlucky Tug's map, from his, like, model series map, where he put the suspension bridge in between Malon and Kronk. Well, until he made updates with putting it on a much more eastern part, like after Groven's Gate. But I think that location there works out works out great. And here is Kronk, which is just based off of Lower Tidmouth from season 1. Although I think and would stay out from free railway engines. That station is supposed to be Kronk in that illustration where he's at the station waiting for the guard. So, this technically, it is accurate, I guess. They just changed it to Lower Tidmouth in season 1. Well, what if it was really Kronk the whole time? And yeah, this is the Pure Godred branch line, you know. And now we're coming up to Kildane, which is really not that far from Kronk. Which, yeah, these are two stations that the show just never really existed in the show. I mean, out of the two, they seem to treat Kronk more so as existing in the show as opposed to Kildane. Like in Gordon Runs Dry, Gordon mentions Kronk as he's naming all the mainline stations in order. And in season 6, there was this branch line station called Kronk, which it's not supposed to be the mainline station there, but it's part of a branch line. But yeah. So the show seems to treat Kronk more so as part of the show more so than Kildane. And even though it may seem like those stations are like pretty close together, like half a mile apart, this is like a downsized version of Wilbur Audrey's map. Like, if I recall correctly, the entire island mainline is about 80 miles long, so that when we started it was about 18, so this island, the entire island's been cut down to like a quarter of the size it really should be. Which makes sense, I guess, since there's no way they could fit this game. I don't know how likely it is for this whole game to fit it on an entire island that's like 4 times this size. But I'm still satisfied with this size regardless. It still feels pretty big. Yeah, this is a long stretch of mainline between Kildane and Kelpstorp Road. Yeah, actually, we did pass another branch line before we reached the suspension bridge, which, let's see if I can find it on the map. And yeah, it's this one. I first thought this was like the one that led down to the lower Sodor from like Percy One's away, but no, if it was, then that point would be like over here after the hill, but before Mainline. This is supposed to be like the branch line that leads down to the search and rescue center, I believe. So I guess they were planning on adding that as well. I'm all for it. I always liked the search and rescue center. But where would they recreate those cliff sides and the whole track leading up to it, and then wrapping around to like, I guess here, I think? I don't know. So, we really don't know until it releases. Yeah, Kyo can't get over this freaking long train. Here, and yeah, James is pointed so nicely. And I think we're coming up onto another branch line, which I believe leads to the Kirk Ronan branch line. I believe it is what it is. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing down. Oh, again, there's nothing down any of those branch lines, but it's cool they added them. And oh, hello there, Skylar. I didn't even notice you there. Oh, for like a minute. Sorry if I didn't notice you. I didn't even notice the chat. Anyone saying stuff in chat earlier for like a what, like 20 minutes or so. Oh, actually more like 10. Yeah, now we're coming up to another TV series location that is Whispering Woods Halt. and in it is a carnival. Which these are all like rewards you get for clearing like certain challenges in the game. Yeah, they're pretty cool. There's even little music that plays as well, which yeah, and I did look it up, and yeah, the Whispering Woods Hall is a location I believe introduced in season 12, just the last that season with the model CGI hybrid style, and it's used more in like the nitrogen seasons. So yeah, location from like a bad era isn't brought in here, and at Kelvstorf, Kelvstorf Row station, and yeah, and after this the main line becomes 2 tracks as opposed to 3. I believe there was no new branch line all that, and yeah, there's no branch line there. It's also possible this one could lead up to that, while this one leads to the Cook Ronan one. But yeah, might just be forgetting some. Might have also forgotten something as well. But yeah, now we're making our way to Groven's Gate. Which yeah, you may have to slow down a little bit because when you go in this direction at speeds, you need to slow down to go at least to like I think maybe even like 50 miles per hour or over it, otherwise you'll derail. But I believe you going over it at 60, you'll also be fine. But we'll just see. I mean, I'm not gonna test it out now because I don't want to really reset up this entire train again. but yeah, like also like braking a little bit. Yeah, like you have to brake like pretty early, like if for your stop you have to brake like fairly early on, like when you have like 3/4 of a mile left. And the one downside of having a super long train is that it's pretty hard to brake, so I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, especially if you're going a little bit downhill where all the coach is pushing you. Since I'm not familiar with this, I watch videos of the Wonders of Sodor, since I'm the only one watching this. So yeah, I think it's fine, guy. Yeah, and oh boy, yeah, we're not slowing down one bit here. This could not go too well here. We've just been consistently going at 55. Well, will we derail or are we gonna crash? I mean, are we gonna are we gonna derail or are we gonna make it? Moment of truth. We're safe. Okay, we're in the clear, and here we are at Groven's Gate, and it even has the narrow gauge line too, which is cool. And that's supposed to be the works. It's not much, just a little shed that looks like a castle. I mean, it doesn't beat Steamworks, cause since Steamworks is just hard to top that. I don't know how to add Steamworks into this, but you'll probably find a way to. I mean, yeah, this is like, I think the sawmill of Henry's Forest. Okay, focus, just don't do any crashes, I don't think. Well, there might be a crash at the end of this, who knows, but who knows. As long as I make it all the way to Vicarstown, I'm good. But yeah, this is the Ballyhoo branch line, which you can go down, but since we're traveling along the main line, we're not going there yet. Yeah, it's nice that they added it, though. And yeah, remember I did an entire run throughout all the on foot of all the tracks in this game, and you can kind of explore that little area back there with all those trucks on foot, which is kind of cool. Cool how much you could explore on foot. But yeah, of course there are areas you can't get out of bounds, but and if you do, there's no way to get back in on foot unless you just fast travel to like another station. And yeah, since we're skipping that, we're now making our way up to Vickerstown, but before that is Henry's Tunnel, which is in its correct spot as it is in the railway series. Where in the show, they treat it as like that tunnel was well after Knapford but before Crosby, which I believe they changed it in CGI. Well, they have it in CGI where they have it. Looking at James, he's really look at James, he's really splendid looking. Yeah, I know. He sure is. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure if it's true or not, but I believe in the CGI era of the show, they moved the tunnel back to its railway series spot. But yeah, I mean, like one episode I can really think of where it could be like after Knapford is like in the episode Who's Jeffrey. Well, he lies to get makes up his character named Jeffrey to get out of trouble, and well, Thomas backs up, starts at Knapford and backs away from Topham and Percy and ends up in Henry's Tunnel. Oh, but of course Spencer comes from him crossing the Vickerstown bridging, and somehow across the entire island in that time. Boy, he did end up at pass through Vickerstown, then went through the tunnel, but it's not really clear. It's really up to your own interpretation, really. And yeah, here's the tunnel. And it's based on how it looks in season 1, because with 2 tracks on this side, well, 1 on the other side. There. I kept getting confused on which one it was, and I forgot to turn on the lamp. So now it's just pitch black in here. Well, I mean, at least I can switch back to this camera. Rather see this than it being all dark. But yeah, you're in this tunnel for a while. It's pretty long. Yeah. Yeah, but the end is just right over there. All light is showing. And we move on out. Okay, we're out of the tunnel, but not free of the camera. In a sense, we have to wait for the entire train to get out of the tunnel. I think it's pretty likely that the entire train couldn't always fit in the tunnel. Like, imagine like the back of the train. Okay, I can't check it. Oh, maybe this entire train could fit in the tunnel, but I would have to like back up and plug the train in the tunnel to see. Well, that's something I can try. That's something I could look into like another time. But yeah, now we're making our way to Vickerstown Station, which Yeah, Bakerstown is a place in real life, well, except it's spelled differently. I think it's spelled Vickers, as KC goes. No, no, I'm getting confused on the second part of it. Let me start that again. It's how it's spelled in real life is Vickers. That's how it's spelled there in real life. Yeah, of course here they changed having it spelled V-I-C. Kept the first part. But they just changed the K to an A in this version. And yeah, that's all they changed. And yeah, the station is pretty cool, an 8-platform station, and yeah. Maybe I shouldn't try to recreate this station in Minecraft somehow. And it's a pretty massive station, so it could be possible. Hey, if I can build all of Bowser's castle in... Oh shoot. I almost forgot about those points. If I can build all of Bowser's castle in Minecraft in survival, and I can do that too. Yeah, just past the station is Vickerstown Yard, which is over here. And yeah, there was like another line here that doesn't go anywhere, but I'm assuming that's going to lead to somewhere like the Vickerstown Diesel Works. Or maybe other places like Great Waterton. And who knows? Who knows indeed, but yeah. This is the yard itself, and of course there is the Vickerstown Bridge. Which I can't stop, but you know what? We're taking this train up to the mainland to Barrel and Finesse, which is a real life location. What app? Oh, hi, James Red Engine 5, and we take we reach the station and off to the mainland we go. And yeah, I mean, you can go kind of far or this direction as well, which is pretty cool. And yeah, there is a signal box out here, but they didn't even do the stairs correctly. It just ends up floating there, which is I find funny. And yeah, Lonely Bridge, East, because yeah, Lonely Island is where Vickerstown is located in real life. And yep, end of session. You reach the edge of the represented area. So that depends on if you want to count that as a crash or not, but yeah. Now I want to go the other direction, try to go along the Ballyhoo branch line. So we started Vickerstown Yard, and I want to change it up. Let's get some snow in here. And of course, I need to change the weather to be winter. To change the time of year to winter. This is another thing that is a little annoying. Like, I wish you could just drag the time of year, the day, to when you want it to be a little bit quicker than this. Like, you can on PC, but not on console. And change it up. We'll set it to like. Instead it's like 9 in the morning. And yeah, we got snow here now, and now we can set up a long. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up a long freight train that will go from here all the way to like like Balhu, who branch line. But of course, since it, yeah, yeah, we have to like set the path like there and then just break it somehow, and then things, yeah, somehow just change it. And well, we'll see how this goes. So let's make our way all the way over here first, and we'll spawn in a freight. Yeah, what do I do? Should do this. I think that's. Let me see. Is that after the signal? Yeah. We got Thomas. So let's move in. Get some more cars in place. Like, instead of just repeating all the same cars, we'll mix it up some, and in a sense, well, and James has mixed trucks as well. This is all a little different. It has some tank cars as well attached to them. Do that. Move that train. Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, spawn in another one. No more. There we go. Yeah, like, it's not easy putting a train together in real life as well as this game. That is if you wanted to make a pretty long one. Yeah, just walk out further here. And let's get another long train, and these all next, and see. There's 20 troublesome trucks. Which ones are these? These the loaded ones are empty? Okay, they're loaded. I always get confused which ones are which. Sure, I could just do empty ones, but nah. You need loaded ones if you're taking them somewhere or filled with stuff. And yeah, first he has the same load, has like same kind I used as Thomas. So let's get Percy here, and this one what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna do a double header with Percy and Emily. I think that'll be pretty cool. And I think I'll get. Oh wait, that's brake vans. So I don't know why you need like brake vans. Yeah, they have trains of just brake vans. Seems a little weird to me, but oh well. Yeah, and there's like a set of points coming up here that the track crosses over, and that's like the farthest I can go with waiting the train all the way over. So let's couple that and okay. Might be able to fit one more set in here with all the one more set of freight cars in here. Let's see. Like points there, so I should probably start backing the train up now. Yeah, not always consistent with the order you do it in. Boom. Now let's back it up. Nice and slowly. At least with these, at least with these, I can just bump them into them and they'll couple up automatically. And I noticed too is that once they're coupled up, their brakes come off, which are these handbrake, these here. Slow them down, and that's what happens doing. Oh, shoot! I actually never uncoupled this. I completely forgot to couple that brake van because, yeah, look, if it in the middle here, it just looks kind of weird, admittedly. I mean, if it did like have like braking, actually brake, but like if it did actually provide braking, help with providing braking, then I would use it. Otherwise, but since it doesn't, I just have it for the end. And I guess I never used it for, forgot to do it for here as well. Wow. Well, it's crazy that this is like the first time I've actually forgotten to, yeah, well, I actually forgotten to remove all the brake fans in between. Oh, shoot. Yeah, another thing too about all these trucks here is that your movement on going kind of slow is pretty sudden. Isn't as smooth as it would be. So that's a little unfortunate, but it's still manageable at the very least. And okay, at the end here, if I wanted to, I could have had this extend this train to be longer by having it go all the way across the bridge to that signal box, but I really don't want to do that in case if it accidentally rolls past the point. But at least I do have a fair amount of, does give me a fair amount of breathing room, so well, I could just potentially back up another train into it. So without it rolling, because for my goal, from where the turn is at, there was a little bit of an incline. And one time when I did this, cars kept like rolling backwards out, and they still are, like that. And, well, this is interesting. Now let's remove James and see, spawn in another set of, another set. Have cars. And should be enough here, and then spawn in like and good. So we move that brake van, and then I can I'll spawn in Emily and Percy and couple them up to this, and then I'll back it down onto the train just to in case something happens. Right, so do Emily first and then Percy. It's interesting about Emily is that she has all her only stock she comes with is just passenger stock. I mean, it makes sense. I guess I mean, it makes sense. I guess since like the stowing singles were express passengers, so I guess it makes sense in that regard. The show seemed to treat her more so as like a freight engine than, or like a mixed traffic engine than an express engine. Oh shoot, yeah. Went a little fast there. And then, well, a wheelbarrow stuck in front of it. And now for Emily here. It's nice that with these when you couple up multiple engines to one another, you can still have full control of them. Just from operating them with within one engine, which is nice. So that makes like doing stuff like double headers pretty easy. Okay, we got that settled. Now for the hard part, setting up the train to go on the path to Balahoo. Actually, ways though. Okay, you know what? I was gonna set it at the station originally, but I'm gonna set it here just so I have extra time to stop. Yeah. So let's do this. We got ourselves a double header going with Percy and Emily. They pulled this long freight here, which it's cool that you can open up the box cars, but there's nothing in them. Nothing but little bits of hay in the corners. It's funny because there is a story segment, a story that involves a box car with James and yeah, it does get loaded with something, but even when it's loaded, it still doesn't show it in there when you open it up, which I find pretty funny. Yeah, now we're moving. So another thing too is like if I put Percy in as the back engine to the train, he would have and if I whistled, Percy wouldn't have whistled along. It only if you're doing a triple header and if you're operating the engine for the middle engine, they'll both whistle, but if I was doing like a triple header, well, I was operating the front engine, only the one behind me would whistle, not the back one. So that's also something. So check the line, is it? Oh shoot, it's not going to Balahoo. Yeah, it's going out from the other direction. Yeah, I'm gonna slow down. Yeah, I need to stop now so I can try to adjust this. I don't want to do it while on the go in case I run a signal. And oh shoot, I left our tail behind somehow. Did I forget to couple this up? I guess I did. Wow. Well. No wonder it was going so well. So if that's the case, I'm gonna need to back the train up now. But wow, I bet I noticed that. Well, now gives me a better reason to restart. It usually doesn't really happen, but well, that was a whole big day for Thomas moment there. Just went off without just part of my train. Well, at least I brought some of it with me. Hey there, Skylar. Waving with a hand there. Uh, well, this was quite something I didn't think would happen, but in a way, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, which since I can just reset the points easily and just have it go the correct direction I wanted. But you think it would have, but it didn't. And there we go. So let's back the train up there, and yeah, that's not the way we're going. We're just gonna have do 2 runs across the main line and back. You know, which yeah, I'll definitely do another stream of this at some point, but tomorrow I'll do a different stream. I was hoping to be do a Halo stream with someone tonight, but they're not on. But it's not like a guaranteed. And God damn it! Why didn't you change? Oh, I guess I just changed last second. Or I just realized, oh wait, this is the wrong signal. What are we doing? I'm surprised it didn't count as a fail. Hell, it usually is the case, but wasn't. But I'm getting close to okay, I am getting close to it, so I can go a little bit more. Yeah, okay, we're getting close to it, so start slowing down now. I don't just ram into the train and just explodes. Like if I did a derailment for a train this long, the whole train would just go all over the place and it would just explode. There we go. Well, let me see, is this entire train coupled up now? Looks like it. Okay, now just set the path on the correct way. Make sure there's no signals. Yeah, there's no signals for quite a bit away once you reach the line. So let me see. Blue represents which track you're going down. I know I'm the only person. I'm the only one. I know I'm the one and only person who's watching the live stream. Yeah, figured as much. This is the best live ever seen in my life. Wow. And somehow I missed that earlier, Skylar. I don't know how I missed that one, but yeah, I mean, I don't get a lot of people who watch my streams, or better yet, who say stuff in them if they're watching. And oh boy, wow, it's too heavy of a train. But yeah, I think out of all the engines, which are the strongest, Gordon is the strongest. Second is James. Third is Emily. Fourth is Thomas. Fifth is Percy, and then the weakest is Diesel. But yeah, I can't even pull it. It's too heavy. Well, I guess I am gonna need a different engine. Sorry, Percy. Maybe another time. The unfortunate thing is about this is that I have to reset the path whenever a couple do something like that. Yeah, what happened? I'll tell you what happened there. The train's too heavy for them to pull it, so I need to get a stronger engine. Alright, James, coming back into this. Yes, I know you can pull this. Wouldn't do Gordon, but I have something I want to do with Gordon next time. So that's why we're getting James back in this. Okay. Yep. Right there and there. And yeah, I'm gonna switch back into Emily. Now to set the path. This time we should be able to pull it. Or maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. What do we know? There is probably a way to set the path to where I can set it the whole way and did it not go? What? I don't know what happened there. I think I had this happen before, but yeah. Watching from Philippines. So cool. And I guess I just need to get in James first for that, but I mean, like, once I set the path, I can just switch to Emily, and there we go. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Wait. Wait, why isn't we set the pushing? Now, it was set to forward, but for some reason it was set to pushing. That was a weird glitch. Long fate. Yeah, there we go. Now we're moving. And have the entire train with me now that's moving. So, not leaving any parts of the train behind. Yeah, we're moving. And what's interesting about Emily is that, like, along with like most of these other characters, that were playable in this game, with exception, I guess, Diesel, who is that. Well, in season 23, Gordon and James got tender lining here, and Emily got it as well, but for some reason the lining was like much tall, didn't match with these. Like, it went like much taller to like the top of the tender, the wall of the tender here, and I think it was a slightly different color. Yeah, it is working. Yeah. But could be wrong on that one, but yeah, and they for some reason they removed it in this game. Well, I mean, it's fine, I guess. I mean, they could have also redone it and make it line up the lining on her side. But oh well, not a big deal really. But they did keep her number 12 that they gave her in the final season of the show, and has worn it ever since, even in All Engines Go. So, yeah, I mean, it's slightly different from, like, color is slightly different from, like, go to Northwest and engines that have numbers on the side. Like, the outline is here is, like, orange, well, as opposed to James, which is black. But, I mean, looks fine, just seems a little off, I guess. Off, but it does use the same font. So, that's nice. Yeah, got a freaking long train here. It's not as long as that express train I pulled, but it's still a decent length. And now we're going through Henry's Tunnel from the other direction. At least we're going along the correct track, so that it won't be an issue. And yeah, even though you can even fit. This is like when from the engine's perspective when they were doing a double header, which they don't really do double headers that often in the show. They usually push from the back, while the other one in front pulls. I mean, they've done some double headers, like in James Owen's lesson, Time for Trouble. I mean, Donald and Douglas do probably do double headers the most. Yeah. Yeah. Well. But of course, yeah, and James, Thomas, and Percy did a triple header in King of the Railway. Which is pretty cool. And what I also find pretty cool is that you could just uncouple the coupling from here. If I wanted to, I could press A and uncouple James from the train, but I'm not doing that. Yeah, actually, yeah, the entire train is in the tunnel. Possible, yeah, that that entire express I had could have fit in the tunnel. Okay, in the clear. I'm taking it kind of slow to make the turn, and yeah, the next signal is not for like a mile, so I could go past the points until in deck. I can go past that and be fine. I want to at least get the entire train to go on beyond this branch line before I set the next point. Still not out of the tunnel quite yet. And now I am. Okay, I'm gonna wait till the train passes that signal and okay, now I'm gonna start braking. Hello? could just do that now and then set path downwards. It's to here and it's loading for you. Okay, yeah, the path is set, but okay, there we go. We're in the clear now. Now we can go along the branch line. And oh, message was retracted again. So it must have been lagging a little bit, a little lag spike on your end, probably. Hey, Skylar. Yeah, it's kind of pretty interesting that most of the story segments take place on this branch line. Well, not most of them. Like, whenever you're traveling from up to Vickerstown, you're usually traveling along this line. Which, I mean, yeah, I don't mind. It's nice to see this station, Ballyhoo. And there is even a branch line coming up here to Normanby, which at first I thought they... In fact, I hate being dirty. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, yeah, is the Normanby branch line here, and when I first saw, at first I thought they actually did make the entire Normanby branch line, but they didn't. It was a branch line in disguise. Yeah. Oh well. And I guess again, that's one little wooden trestle bridge coming up. Yeah, quite nice. And a tunnel. Well, no, it's under a bridge, not a tunnel. And yeah, we're coming back up to the main line. It's not really a huge branch line, really, but it's nice that they added it. Sure makes getting through this pretty. Sure is nice that they added it. But yeah, like these fields here, like you could walk around quite a bit. Yeah, like there's an opening in there. Slow down a little bit. Good. Turn in. Good. And voting Crow and Gay yet again. And I don't know if that will going from heading the other direction, like we can speed along this direction. But yeah, funny enough, a few days ago, I did test out how did like a little speed run across the mainline challenge, but I've seen people do it by going the other going from Knapford to Vickerstown, and I think the record is just about 17 minutes exactly. Or just barely under it, I can't remember. But what I did was I attempted something different. I went from Bakerstown to Knapford, and so I looked up to see if anyone has done videos on going from that direct, doing it that way, and I couldn't find any. So yeah, I attempted it, and my total time was about 17 minutes and 32 seconds. I could definitely improve that by a little bit, cause since I was kind of playing it safe on entering the station. But yeah, might do a whole video on that. Who knows? Like the whole setup is going in with 4 loaded express coaches. Doesn't matter what color they are. Could be the green ones, it could be the red ones. It also doesn't matter what weather it is. But yeah, like, that's a video I might do once I do the Let's Play on this game, but who knows. I might just do like a standalone video on it. Which I think would be pretty cool. Oh, but yeah, I mentioned earlier, there are collectibles about this, and the book collectibles are actually books from the Railway series. Yeah, there's 20 of them in total, and yeah, it's all Wilbert's books. But yeah, except for 6 of them, which are, I think 6 that aren't included in the game as collectibles are, I don't know what's going on with Snowdale. Troublesome Engines, Gordon the Big Engine, Gallandold Engine, Stepney the Bluebell Engine, Twin Engines, and I believe Branch Line Engines. I believe those 6 are the ones that aren't included in the game as collectibles. But it's interesting how they didn't include all of them. I guess they just ran out of hiding spots for them and figured, we can leave a couple out. Or they did put them all in there, but they figured, no one's gonna think to check there, and decided to remove some of them. But yeah, even I did use a guide for the book. Finding the remaining collectibles for the hats and whistles, which I already mentioned. But yeah, and since we're approaching from this direction, I need the point that we have to look out for is right past the station. It's right there. Right, in the clear now. We can just hold the right trigger and get all the way. Yeah, this is what back of the train's like. And yeah, you can clip the camera through the ground, as you can kind of see there for a second. And yeah, one thing I didn't discover recently was, wait, I don't think I can do it while this is going on. Is that you can lift these up, and you can step inside the brake vans, but you can't go inside them. You can only go onto these parts here. So I think it's pretty cool. But yeah. We're just jumping along the main line. Yeah, despite the fact that I've gotten pretty much 100% this game, still been having a lot of fun with it. I mean, the only thing I have left to 100% are the timetables, which is like running a regular railway. But each character has a set amount that they have to do. You know, like they each have like 50 or so. Well, with the exception of Diesel, for some reason has like 20. And James has like 60, which is crazy. But at this point, I've done all the timetables for, completed the timetables for all of the characters, except for Thomas and Emily. I started Thomas, and he's the one I'm currently working on clearing, and then I'll be doing Emily. Like, in order I went from Diesel, then Gordon, then Percy, and then James, and now I'm doing Thomas and finishing with Emily. Yeah, they are kind of boring, but doing them over and over, but so I'm just spreading them out whenever I'm just feeling like doing them. But yeah, I'll eventually clear all of them. Yeah, so I'm thinking the plan is we reach the end of the line here, and then we end the stream there. So stream probably going about another 20 minutes. And again, Skylar's just doing the white hand emoji. Yeah. Which, funny enough, a few months ago, YouTube was having some issues with their live chat. Well, some people could say stuff in chat, but some people couldn't. But the people who couldn't can emoji like that, which was kind of funny. So, yeah, it was a bit annoying, but yeah. At least the problem got fixed later that day. Anyway, yeah. I guess I can mention some of the riveting, like, characters like the big engines like Gordon, James, and Emily. Their riveting detail was handled pretty well when they were first introduced in season 23. Were a little big in some areas, but they were a little big, but these engines, they worked better for them since they were bigger than like Thomas and Percy. They were rivets, and my guy's feet are clipping through the floor of the cab. Yeah. Because when they added rivets to Thomas and Percy, they were huge, and just kind of plopped them wherever, not in a fully realistically in a lot of places. And of course, they added handrails to like their cabs. But yeah, in this game here, they updated the riveting and made them smaller and more realistic looking. They didn't keep the handrails, but they did change the color of some of them, so that they blend in with the paintwork. Yeah, I personally prefer the engines without rivets, but this is a good middle ground here. Here in this game, it's a good middle ground that I can accept. Yeah, like in Emily's case, they added a handrail going over for like that. But the real life Sterling single had the handrail go like over the smoke box door, like it would be like going right over her face. Which would have been cool if they did that like this, but yeah, this is fine. I mean, I think a lamp would look better up on here. But oh well. Mhm. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold the right trigger all the way since we're approaching the hill. I think we'll be able to reach it, and reach the top easily. And I'm not gonna let go at all. And hey, if we crash, we crash. It was a good way to go. It will be a good way to go out. A few days ago, I did watch some crash compilations of in this game, and the crashes are crazy. Well, all like the engines and their tenders and even their rolling stock they pull just explode all over the place. Like they just go flying around all over the place, you know. Because they don't really follow the physics. They just break physics at that point. Right, 64 miles an hour. We'll reach that's plenty to reach the top of Gordon's Hill. Yeah, and up we go, and yeah, no, everything about the timetable side is that for the engines like Gordon, James, and Emily, you do like run rounds with their turntable at the turntables at Vickerstown, and you go back down onto the train from the other end. There's one part I was stuck on for them. Well, I reached that point, but the signals just wouldn't change, and I was like, what do I do? Is this a glitch? But I looked up a video and I discovered that you have to hold B, and it will change the signal like that. Like I held B there and that prompt showed up. There, that's what I'm referring to. Yep, made it over the hill. Now the charge on the hill, full speed. Yeah, like even once the train ends, so I do want to stop at Netford to show like some of the collectibles. In a sense, yeah, that's where they'll display once you find them. Well, for the books and paintings, not the caps and whistles. Yeah, now to get a little bit of a better look at Wales Wharf. Only this time it's covered in snow. Good thing that it's a good thing that there's no like snow drifts that you have to like plow through. Man, it would have been cool if they added that, but I don't know how they were able to add that in as a feature. But yeah, I'm fine with just this. You know, with the ground being covered in snow. It's kind of cool angle. You know, it's kind of funny. Like one time I set the weather to snow and the time of year to November, and for some reason, well, actually, let me get to say this first. When I first set the edit to snow, it like stayed there for a little bit, but then it melted like almost immediately. But at first I was confused, and then I realized, oh, because it's set to the time of year is June. When it melted me instantly, so it makes sense. And then one time I set it to November not too long ago, and snow did stay for a while, you know, but eventually it like did melt. It was like very gradual, which did seem a little wrong to me, but me that it would melt in November since since like I have seen snow in November, and it did stick. In fact, I did see snow in November last year. So yeah. Hey though, physical media lover. Oh, Skyward did say something else earlier. Maybe some people don't do emojis in live chat, but I'm the only one. I'm also friendly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't read that earlier, Skylar. But yeah. Hello, little physical media lover. Yeah. I've not streamed much lately, so perhaps is it intentional so you can stay in streams longer? Good. No, it's not. It's not intentional, but by that by any means. It's. I forgot when was the last time Howard was live. Yeah, he went live last month in March, but that was like, but he went live earlier in March because he skipped out in January and February. But if I have to guess, he would either stream tomorrow or sometime during the week. After all, it is near the end of April, so it's usually around the time where he would, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I think that was the last time we talked to each other. Yeah, like, you haven't been commenting on any of my shorts either, but yeah, like, I don't know if you've played Thomas Wonders of Sodor, but it's a pretty fun game. Yeah, I recommend you getting it, but I don't know what consoles you have. Like, if you have a Switch, then you're good, but you have to wait for the game to come out, since the Switch version has been delayed. I mean, it's nothing new, because, like, Sonic Racing Crossroads came out on Switch at first, and then on the Switch 1 first, and I love to play it, but for the Switch, yeah, I don't know when the Switch version will come out though, but who knows when it will come out? It'll come out at some point. I mean, I guess nothing new. Sonic Racing Crossroads came out on Switch 1 when it launched, and the Switch 2 edition came out, I think, earlier this year. Yeah. And luckily, what's nice is that if you do have Switch 1 version of Sonic Racing Crossroads, you know, the upgrade path for it's only, I think, $5 or $10, which is not a bad price. Not a bad upgrade price. Especially compared to the other one. Okay, and yeah, at Knapford Station, and yeah, most of these stations here, they extended them to be much longer than what they normally would be. And I don't know a point there I couldn't tell. I was just trying to switch the camera angles to be inside. Hey, you know Danny, right? Which Danny are you referring to? Because, yeah, I don't know which one. What? Because I don't know which one you're referring to. If you're referring to Danny Duncan, I know him. I watched a couple of his videos. Like, mostly his best of. But that's not super often, but that was that one that is friends with Garrett. Oh, okay, I think I do know what you're talking about now. Now that you need a little more context. Yeah, we reached the point, and this is something I always love doing once I reach this point. Just full speed, read on this way. Hey, we're going up. I'm in a Discord server with him. Oh, really? Cool. I mean, hey, if you want, you could commented the link to that and had him somewhere on my channel, and I could check it out if you. Since I do afterward. I guess I'll to make another Discord server that evolved to that shall not be named a while back, but I checked it out real quick and then I immediately popped down like, no, I don't want to be any involvement from this whatsoever. I think it was definitely the right move there on my part. I'm not saying you have any. It's wrong for you to not be part of that. But yeah, it's just something I did not want to be involved with. But you know, in Knapford Station, as you can see, look, all the books here. Yeah, all the books, just missing Troublesome Engines, Gordon Big Engine, Twin Engines, Branch Line Engines, Gallant Old Engine, and Stepney the Bluebell Engine. And yeah, those are the only books that are missing here. And here's all the paintings, which, yeah, these are pretty nice. The paintings, well, are mostly all located at like stations, so on like walls, so that's good. A good place to look for if you're ever trying to find them. Yeah, and the books are in like significant certain landmarks as well. It would have been cool if there was a display case for the hats and whistles, but oh well. I know this is pretty much a dead talk between us and a few other people we know, but I'm also in a Discord server where there is a whole channel dedicated to making fun of okay. Which, yeah. I think I created a question in my channel, I guess. But yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, you physical media lover, like, if you want to, if people who are making fun want to keep making fun of them, you can, but I just feel like it's just, what's the point really if it's not gonna do anything? So I just think it's best still stay not to be part of it, me. But I'm not. Of course, I can't stop you, but that's my choice at least not to be involved with it. But I will say this: will hint at. Will have an upcoming short that I don't know if will be released this year or next year. Where I just take one last stab at Mark. But I'm not gonna say anything what it is yet. But I'll just give a little hint to it, saying it'll be a finale to like a live stream series that I started after I cut ties with him. Okay, yeah. Kevin, yeah. Like before I just end this off, I'm just gonna walk around a bit more here, and yeah, even some posters as well, like that. And yeah, these little things here are just like where you are the story segments that you can start up here. And all narrated by Mike Moorhan. Yeah, lots of sightings here. And yeah, you can move the points. So as you can see. And yeah, you can't even operate the turntables as well. But yeah, what I was saying before is that like Knapford Station, they extended the length of it. Like in fact, all the stations they extended to be hold like 6 coaches. Which before they held like 3 or 4. Even though that channel is active every day and everyone keeps putting videos of him using Veggie AI, some of the videos they put of him, they are just not funny anymore. Yeah. Okay, well, at least you can acknowledge that there were some that just aren't funny anymore. But yeah, you can even operate the turntables with, but yeah, for some reason, okay, I guess they didn't stop it. Yeah. Like when I was doing that testing out a turntable a few weeks ago, it just kept moving back into the position it was once in, but yeah. So it is pretty late now, near 11:30, so we're close to it then. I'm about gonna call the stream here, but I will be live tomorrow with streaming something else. So that'll be nice, and yeah, I'll definitely do another live stream of this game where we explore out Thomas's branch line, and there's something funny I want to do with it, it as well. So yeah, see you later, physical media lover, and Skyward, if you're still watching, I'll see you later too. Yeah, I'll see you all next time.